Howdy everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we are talking the NRA Pistol Instructor program. You might be interested in getting your instructor certification. So I'm going to go over kind of what it entails, what it prepares you for, things that I like about it and things that I don't. So before we get into what the program is all about, why do most people get their NRA certifications? Well, that is typically the stepping stone to start teaching or getting into other things. In order to teach the license to carry course in Texas, you have to show that you are a certified instructor through some reputable organization. The NRA Instructor program is typically the most accessible and the easiest way to do that, which is why most people do it that way. And there's nothing wrong with that. But let's talk about what the program entails, what it prepares you for, what it doesn't. So this is the book that I actually use to study and to take my tests. It covers a broad variety of things. Talks a little bit about safety. It goes very much in depth into kind of the ins and outs, the actual mechanical operation of a firearm. This is kind of one of the areas where I think it's a little bit outdated. Most people, especially the classes that we teach, it's defensive firearms related, specifically geared towards a semi-automatic firearm. They go into the ins and outs of like single action revolvers, derringers, things like that. They also talk about different carry methods, and they talk about small in the back being a valid option. I highly disagree with that. They do go into a little bit on like the mechanics of shooting, which is cool, but it's not that in depth. And to be honest with you, the final test at the end really is not a very good gauge of one's ability. It's very similar to the Texas LTC test. It's essentially a sobriety test, but it is a decent stepping stone. What does it allow you to teach, or what does it prepare you to teach? Well, it prepares you to teach the NRA's program that they have lined out. It's a very structured program, step-by-step process. It does a good job of basically tracking the student's progression or whatnot. It is a decent starting point. I think that's one of the things that the NRA does well. So it does prepare you to teach that basic NRA firearms course. What it doesn't prepare you for, though, is if that is all you have, is your NRA instructor certification, and you think now that you have the skills, the ability, the knowledge, the course material, the experience, all that stuff to write up your own curriculum or start your own pistol program, you are sorely mistaken. It does not cover any of that stuff. So if you are out there, if you're a student looking for a firearms instructor, even if it's a basic firearms instruction, and they are teaching something other than the NRA's program, you need to look and see what other certifications that they have, but more importantly, what other training has that person received? How many hours of training do they have under their belt? One of the reasons I don't use hardly any of the information that I learned in the NRA program to teach. As a matter of fact, I don't think I use anything that I learned in this program. Where I got the most of my material and what I use the most. So in addition to being an NRA instructor, I'm also a Rangemaster firearms instructor that is given by Tom Givens. I hold that as a much higher accolade or value than the NRA. It is a tougher course. It goes more in depth on the whys behind why we do certain things. It tests your skills significantly more, and it tests your knowledge significantly more. So when I put together my basic classes, and like I said, guys, I stay in my lane. I know what I'm qualified to teach, and I know what I'm not. I'm not out there trying to do this advanced, tactical stuff. If you want to do that, go find yourself a nationally famous traveling instructor. Scott Jedlinski, Bill Blowers, Chuck Pressburg, people like that. They will take you to levels far beyond anything that I could ever imagine. But how I compile my course material for brand new shooters and fundamental shooters, bringing them up to a blue belt level of competency. The Rangemaster curriculum, I've got a book sitting right over there that's about that thick that I run through and rummage through all the time to get more information out of. So I take a lot of information from that, but also I take bits and pieces of every single class that I have taken in the last 5 to 6 years and have compiled kind of my own way that I think is the best way to teach brand new shooters how to shoot in a very quick period of time. So majority of my curriculum has been a little bit from this class and a little bit from that class, and kind of compiled it into what I think is the best material. So like I said, guys, the NRA Instructor program, it prepares you to teach their curriculum. It does not prepare you to kind of do your own, unless you have experience, competitive shooter, you've got significant hours of firearms training underneath your belt. If you do have that experience, then it's a good stepping stone, and then you can gather that information and teach it how you want. But like I said, if an instructor out there is an NRA instructor only and they're teaching something other than the NRA material, go and look at their background, go and look at what their credentials are, their training history, because like I said, the NRA instructor program in and of itself, by itself, in my opinion, does not equip you to really go out and effectively teach other people how to safely and properly shoot. It's a solid stepping stone, don't get me wrong, but it's not the end all be all. It is just a way to get your foot in the door to additional education, so that you can serve your friends or students or whatnot. Hopefully this answered some of your questions. So I don't hold much value to my NRA instructor certification. If you really are truly passionate about teaching other people, I highly recommend Tom Givens Instructor Development Program. That program is phenomenal. It's where I get most of my information from. And he is a very, very well-respected teacher in the firearms community. But nonetheless, hopefully I've answered some questions or maybe pissed you off. I don't know. Guys, thanks for watching. Be safe, be smart, be skilled. We'll catch you on the next video.